Okay, it's June the 30th, 5:05 a.m. and there's a hexahedron that just before looked like an orb cluster, and it's still an orb cluster, but now it's in a shape of a hexahedron, and all around it what appears to be a cloud is really a cloud of orbs. Okay, the whole thing is being smothered by a cloud of orbs. So here it is as a hexahedron. I'll just leave it there so you get a good look at it. Okay, it's daylight. It's obviously not lens flare, and it's up so high it couldn't possibly give me lens flare. So watch it change shape. Just watch it change shape. I'll just leave the focus. Let's see if it changes shape. Okay. That's a hexahedron. And it's not going to change shape, so I'm going to go closer. You get a closer look. Okay, now this thing is huge. It's climbing up, and it's going to be hard to hold it at this magnitude, but I'm going to hold the camera on it so you'll see a slight shake, because I want to keep the camera on it. Look at all the energy it's producing, and how it's changing color and intensity of the electromagnetic energy. Look at that. Just look at that. Just look at what it's doing. And that's supposed to be a star. That's what it looks like from the ground, like a star, but that's no star. And that's in our atmosphere, and all those things around it are more organisms just like it. And that's just a nucleus for a huge cluster that looks from the ground like it's a huge cloud. But it's no cloud. It's a cloud of orbs. Just look at that thing in action. Just when I get to hold the camera here, it's going out of the picture. It's going so fast. I lost it. I just moved out of the picture. So just watch what it does. And these are alien organisms. No matter who says what, these are alien organisms, and whatever they say is not going to change. Look at this. No matter what they say is not going to change what these things are. And they're all over the place. I mean, it's a daily occurrence all over the sky. Whenever you see what looks like a star, it's one of these, and it's not a star at all. So I'm gonna make this video short because YouTube's taking my videos off anyway, so I'm not gonna waste an hour on filming a video that's going to be removed. Okay, again, what's happening is that the orbs are rotating and revolving counterclockwise around the nucleus, and they're revolving around each other in the nucleus, and all the movement is counterclockwise. They also have a high frequency rate, extremely high frequency rate, and the high frequency rate and also the high speed of the revolutions in the nucleus of the cluster, and also the high speed of the revolutions of the orbs against one or around one another in the cluster, all of that movement and all the movement from the orbs and the outside of the cluster, all that other stuff you see flying around, that's zillions of orbs that make up that cluster, and that cluster goes on for I don't know how many tens of kilometers in the sky. It's a huge cloud and covers like a good portion of Toronto, and all that movement counterclockwise creates electromagnetic energy, and the plasma you see is all of their movement superheating the air because of the great speed and the great high frequency that's being put out by each and every orb cluster. And all of these are clusters no matter how small they are, and it's all smaller clusters making up larger clusters, and finally a huge cluster like that with a nucleus that size. And that nucleus is probably about 1 kilometer itself in diameter, maybe even bigger. It's moved off too far. I gotta adjust the camera now. Okay, I'll try and hold it here for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna make this under 10 minutes. I want you to notice that it's changing shape and color, and it's changing the plasma output, because the speed is either decreasing or increasing, but whenever it decreases it's still very fast. It's now at a slower speed because the color around it is red. When that gets all white hot, the speed increases, but you can see the orbs traveling around that white hot nucleus, and they're in the red zone. So both the red and the white are plasma. The white is hotter plasma than the red, and any other color in between there that you can see popping up here and there, that's just different heat plasma, but it's all plasma. And it's their revolutions and rotations and high frequency rates that are creating all of this electromagnetic energy and charging up the rest of the cluster by passing on the electromagnetic energy through each and every one of the clusters, and they all have their own electromagnetic field, and they're also all connected with those electromagnetic field into a huge electromagnetic field, which is the greater cluster involving or including the nucleus there that's glowing and all the orbs inside of it, and also all the orbs on the outside that are not glowing that compose the greater cluster. So the whole thing is the greater cluster. The glowing part is the nucleus, and you can just watch the high frequency of the revolutions and the rotations counterclockwise, and you can see all the organisms all around it. Zillions of them just fill the whole sky. I mean, they blanket the entire sky. That's how many of them there are. And this is day and night, 24/7, non-stop. Their population is exploding exponentially and astronomically, and there is no two ways about that. The longer we wait to do something about them, the more time they have to increase their population numbers. If we wait too long, we may not be able to do anything about them because there'll just be too many of them. These are some sort of intelligent alien entities, and I believe they're some sort of an insect species, but whatever they are, they're intelligent. If it's not they that are intelligent, then someone very intelligent has complete control over them and can put on all these fake skies that we see with fake stars, fake sun, fake moon, fake planes, fake birds, fake everything. And so they're pretty much in control of what we see, and everything up in the sky is an illusion. it's a hologram, because this is not a star, it's a cluster, and that's what really this is. Anybody saying anything different doesn't know what they're talking about. So this is definitely alien entities in our atmosphere, high up in our atmosphere at the moment, but nonetheless it was lower and it's climbing right now. I'm just holding the camera on it so that I don't lose it, because it's moving so fast I can't leave the camera alone. It just left, just boosted the speed and left. And I was holding the camera on it, and that, it doesn't want to be on the video. And I just overshot it. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to back off to show that it does look like a star. It's so high up. Okay, I'll go all the way. That's all the way back. And if I close in, let's see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. So, it even looks like a star from here. But when you get close to it, it's no star. But from the ground, it definitely looks like a star, especially if you're not using a high-power camera with a good zoom and a clear zoom. No pixelation whatsoever. And this is at 4500X, I don't know. But there's no pixelation. This is a good camera. Those things are organisms, not pixels. They're alien entities. Hey, look at the speed. Just look at the speed. Oops. There it goes. Trying to get away on me. They don't like being on camera. They can sense the camera from miles and miles away. I have no idea how they do that, but they know they're on camera. Look at how fast those orbs are revolving around the nucleus. Look at this. I'm going to back off. It's moving very fast right now. Okay. It's turning into a hexahedron again. I'll just leave it to see how fast it's going up, because it's climbing. Okay, so it's climbing at a very good rate, at a fast rate, because now it's like tiny. I'm not, let's see if I close in. I just want to see what it's doing. It doesn't matter, I know it's climbing fast. I'm just watching some really giant birds fly by. Next time I'll film them. They really look oversized. And they weren't geese or anything like that. I've never seen gulls that size. That thing's really moving. Keeps moving out of the view. Okay, so this is going to keep going on all day, all night, you know, forever. As long as they're here, they're not going to stop. If this cluster goes out, another one will start, and it'll be pretty much the same thing, maybe smaller or larger, but it'll do the same pattern in the same way, and it'll do the color changes and the speed changes, and the amount of orbs will vary, but it'll be pretty much similar to what you're seeing now. They're all following the same routine, and the movement is always counterclockwise. The frequency vibrations are high. That was me moving the camera by accident. The frequencies are high, and they follow a musical type pattern, like 2-beat, 4-beat, 8-beat, 16-beat, 32-beat, 64-beat, 128-beat, 256-beat, and then anything faster than that, you can't see it. They start to vanish because they're beating or vibrating too fast, and then they just vanish. Whether they're glowing or not glowing, they just vanish. And I think at that point they shift into another dimensional plane and are no longer in the third dimension, but they're parallel to us, and they're still in the same spot, just in another dimension. So they can pop in and pop out at will, just by increasing their vibrations frequency to the point where they just vanish out of our dimension. And that's how they do it. So all those UFOs you see vanish, that's the way they do it. Whether they're orb clusters like this or metallic looking or anything, these things can control energy, and they can transform energy into matter and turn any type of matter into energy. They have full control over energy, and that's no problem for them.